How do you get over someone, especially in a situationship where there is no closure? So to be honest, sometimes you may never get closure. To be 100% honest, you may never get closure, and you have to be okay with that because depending on who it was, they might not give you the closure you're looking for. They might not, they might even make things worse for you, right? Getting over somebody is difficult, right? It's not easy. Heartbreaks are not easy, but you need to remember that there's a reason you guys are a situationship. There's a reason why you're feeling this type of way, right? And if he's not giving you what do you think? Let me ask you this: what do you think closure will be? Like, what is closure to you? Because just closure for you may mean something different for somebody else, right? Doesn't everyone micro cheat? I mean, it's when the intentions are bad, right? Like, say you have a friend and they posted a photo or something, you like it, cool, whatever. Now, liking the photo because you're trying to get their attention is something different. You know what I mean? Like, because we all have friends, we all have acquaintances and stuff like that, but it's like liking someone's photo or something like that is not a big deal unless there's bad intentions behind it. Right? If you're liking it to get their attention, if you're liking it because it's like a thirst trap, right? Or something like that. Ambar, ¿cómo estás? How are you? Liz Life, how are you doing? Closure to me is when we have a talk. He comes to my job every day and acts like nothing happened. If you voice to him that was a concern for you and he doesn't give you closure, that's your closure right there. Like, so I'm have you asked him, like what happened, like just to be honest with you, because again, he may not want to have that type of conversation because he's so easy to just get past it, right? He's so easy to act like nothing happened because why? He's just trying to get past it. He's just trying to get over it. So that's why. And just because your type of closure is having a conversation doesn't mean that's what he wants to do, right? That's the type of closure. What it sounds like that his closure is just cutting you off. Like he's telling you, like, I don't want to have a talk with you because there's nothing there. But you have to ask him, be like, yo, can I just ask you what happened? You can be completely honest, but I just need to know. And maybe that's all you need to do is just ask him, right? Fucking mosquito. But just ask him straight up. And if he doesn't want to give you closure, then that's your answer right there, right? But thank you. Absolutely. I haven't yet, honestly. Usually when they stop interacting with you means something that is more shiny. Sorry, that too. They found something a little bit more shiny. So it could be that. How long is this long to be in a situationship? If you're in a situationship over, I would say anywhere 8 months to a year, you need to like either make a decision if you're going to move on or have that conversation with them, because that's already a long time, right? To be in a situation that long, because you need to talk to him and be like, yo, like, what are we doing here? Have that conversation, call him out, because if you calling him out, like, hey, like, if we're going to be something serious and he can't have that conversation with you, then guess what? Like, it may be time to move on, because that's how he feels towards you. He's not looking to be in a relationship with you. So don't be afraid to bring it up. If that's something you want to talk about, something you like that's on your chest that you want to, talk about, bring it up. Because if it makes him leave, there's your answer. He wasn't planning on taking you serious. Opinions on best friends with the opposite S with a relationship. So here's Ali. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? It's okay to have friends that are the opposite sex, right? Oh shit. But when you're single, go ahead, have all the friends in the world. Do whatever you want. Cool, do it. Now, when you get in a relationship with somebody, some of your behaviors are going to have to change. And one of those behaviors is having, like, you can still have friends with your ex, or not exes, friends with opposite sex, right? Now, like, because I have friends who are the opposite sex, but I'm not going to be like messaging them anymore like that. Hey, like, what are you up to? Or and things like that. It's going to be more of a, hey, like whenever you see them, you say hi, you're still acquaintances, but your behavior has to change, and vice versa for the girl too. Like, it has to change because you're choosing to be in a relationship with this person. And so your behavior's got to change. Their behavior's got to change, and they should know that. And that's something that you should talk about early on. And if it's not something that you agree on, that if they're like, oh, it's fine, there's nothing wrong, be like, okay, have your friends that are the opposite sex, cool. But it's gonna be a no for me, dog. Why does a man that has my girlfriend has a girlfriend and is currently my boyfriend? Why did he text me Happy Valentine's Day? What's the deal with that? Why does a man that has a girlfriend and is currently my boyfriend? Wait, hold on. He has a girlfriend and he's also your boyfriend? My best friend is a guy, and when I was married, he hung out more with my ex-husband. See, like, maybe that can be a thing too, you know, like they hang out with your husband, you know, you can bring them around. And that's also another thing is like, if you have friends that are of the opposite sex, you should be able to bring them around too, like introduce them to your person. It shouldn't be like a hiding type of thing, right? But behaviors like maybe going over to their house, that's a no-go anymore, because guess what? Now you're in a relationship and that makes your partner feel a type of way. So you can't be doing that type of stuff anymore. And that's why like a lot of these conversations are something that you guys should be definitely having in the very beginning. All right, so we're going to get into the questions. If you guys want to ask questions, for those asking, like you know how I put the anonymous ones on here? Every month I put the anonymous link over on my IG, so make sure you guys be following me there. And you guys can ask anonymous questions. So we're going to get into it. If I miss your guys' comment, I am sorry. If you guys haven't checked out today's podcast episode, definitely go check it out too. And also, if you guys haven't checked out, what's it called? My Toxico Scents, they are going to be linked over on my TikTok shop. So make sure you get them. And there's also a new scent that just came out too. I just recently released it. It's called I'm Fine. It's for women. It's inspired by what's it called? A very popular luxury fragrance, if that makes sense. So definitely check it out. I should have it linked on my TikTok here in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. It's linked now. So definitely check it out. Shout out to everybody who has purchased one. I appreciate y'all, right? All the orders are going to go out tomorrow because today was a holiday, and you know, they're not going to be going out today, obviously, clearly. So, all right, let's get into the first question. All right. A guy told me he likes me, and I sent him he's interested, but when I asked a date, I feel like he blew me off. I guess I should ask if he just wants to be a friends with benefits. Girl, the mistake you made is that you gave him too much, too fast. Because just because he told you that he liked you where does that correlate? Oh, he likes me. Let me send him a nude, right? Because you just gave him, maybe he's not interested after that. Maybe that's all he wanted was to get some good Manuela content for himself, right? So he just needed to rub one out real quick because I don't know if it's the same for girls, but sometimes guys, like when they want a girl, maybe they fantasize about them and then they, you know, use good old Manuela and then they get over them. I don't know if it's the same for women. Let me know. Is it the same for women? Does that happen for you guys too? Like you guys are thinking of a man and then all of a sudden like you fantasize him while you're doing some things to yourself and then you're just kind of like over him. Because that's something that happens with guys. I don't know if it's the same with women. Y'all let me know. So I'll wait for you guys to answer me that. So it could be that, right? It's not her first time sending it. That too, I mean, may not be the first time. That happens with you. What do you mean that happens with me? -0? What does that mean? Yes. Okay. Oh, yes. So Cecil Photographer says yes. Ohana says yes. I'll take that as a yes. Nope. We want the actual guy unless he's boring. Yes. Kat says yes. So I'm sure it's similar for a lot of women too. You know, like when you actually rub one out to them, like you're good after that. I would just say maybe take it a little bit slower, and because you send him that and all of a sudden his attitude changed. Maybe he's not interested. He got what he wanted. The chase is over after that. Maybe slow it down a little bit. Save the nudes for somebody you're actually dating, maybe, right? Somebody you've already gone on dates with, hooked up with, and stuff like that. Save them for a later time, because now some random guy has some pictures of you. All right, next question. What do you think about dating outside your tax bracket? The guy I'm talking to makes 3 times what I make, and he has the brains too. Socially, we can hold a combo, but I get insecure. Honestly, you shouldn't even worry about it, right? Because I think you're overthinking that part. If he's interested in you, you should be paying attention to the actions toward you. Is he treating you like he's interested in you? Is he paying attention to little details? Is he taking you out? Is he trying to see you? Is there constant communication on the phone? You need to be paying attention to those things rather than what's in his bank account, right? And then, that's also a plus. You found somebody who's pretty successful with themselves. And this is an older woman speaking, and it's a valid question. Because, yeah, he may be, obviously making more than you, but you should just be worried about how he's treating you, because, for example, there's a lot of wealthy guys who try to get at girls, and they know they can treat them like crap, basically, because they earn or they have a lot of money, and the girls want to be around because they're making a lot of money, right? They're addicted to that lifestyle, or they think that they're going to marry into, somebody who is wealthy. So they're willing to be treated like shit. They're willing to get cheated on. They're willing to do that stuff. So, and they know that it's happening too. They know they're getting treated like crap. They know, you can tell by their actions. So that's why I'm saying, pay attention to his actions, not necessarily how much he's making, because there's also wealthy guys who treat their person amazing, right? And they're going to be able to feel it. There's not going to be no questioning, is he cheating, or is he doing this? Oh, he treats me like crap. He ghosts me. So I would just say, pay attention to how he's treating you. Question: When does a guy know when they are ready for commitment? So I mentioned this before. Carolina, ¿cómo estás? A guy typically knows early on if he wants to take you serious, or you're just going to be a placeholder, or somebody that he's just going to chase for a hookup within the first couple dates. I'll tell you that right now. Most guys know, because first couple days they can be like, oh dang, I really like this girl. I can see us, maybe something serious with this person. Or it can also be like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this person, but I'm going to keep her around, maybe try to hook up with her, or just have some entertainment in the meantime, because that happens, right? So again, like I mentioned earlier, a good way to see what they really want is paying attention to how they're treating you. Are they trying to see you after those first couple dates? Are they still trying to see you? Are they still trying to hang out with you? Are they the same way 5-6 months in with you? Do you guys plan things in the future together? Things like that. Are you guys doing that type of stuff? Because typically if it's a quick fling or a placeholder, that energy runs out within the first few months, right? That honeymoon phase, that puppy love phase, and then all of a sudden it gets into, they're not trying to see you anymore. They found something that's way more shinier, something that's shiny again. So I would say just pay attention to that. If you ask them, of course they're going to be like, oh yeah, I want to take you serious, even if they're just there to hook up. Most guys aren't going to be 100% honest with you, to be honest. So just like I mentioned earlier, pay attention to how he is over a period of time too. How do I get my man to keep dating after being married for 13 years? Girl, you're going to have a tough conversation with him, because 13 years, and if you guys haven't worked on that relationship, say it's been 5 years, I don't know your guys' relationship, and you can tell these past 5 years have been really vanilla, no love, no spark. It's time to get into some couples counseling, couples therapy, have a conversation with him, be like, hey, like there's like, why isn't there a spark here? Like, what is going on? Like I want to feel love from you. I don't feel wanted from you. Like have these tough conversations, because if you don't have that conversation, he's going to think that everything's a-okay, right? Everything's good. You're comfortable. He's comfortable. There's no, he's going to think that you're fine. But no, that's why I always say, like, voice your opinion. Vanessa, ¿cómo estás? How are you? Vanilla should be illegal. Patty, situationships are just fucking no relationship. Oh, you're explaining what friends with benefits are and situationships. So pay attention to that. Okay? Exactly. All right, we're going to get into the next question. How long while you're talking to someone do you think it's okay for the girl to fly out? I mean, shit, you can fly out the first day. It doesn't matter. I would just say, just be careful. There's nothing wrong with being spontaneous, being fun, being, taking that trip. I remember, I forgot when I saw it. There's this guy who was like, I think he was in Florida and the girl was in Cali, or vice versa, right? And they had been talking on social media for a while, and then finally he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go see her, and he flew across the country and went to go see her, right? And I haven't looked into it if they're still dating, but they blossomed into like a fun relationship, right? So there's nothing wrong, like if you want to do that, but just remember this. Sometimes when you fly out, and especially if the guy flies you out, I'll tell you right now, he may be expecting the cookie. So maybe having that conversation beforehand, be like, I don't hook up with anybody until I've dated them for a certain amount of time or something like that. Because what happens if you go, you hook up, and then after that, you go back home and you never hear from him again. He got what he wanted. So that's why, it's fun to just get up and go, something spontaneous. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also have to remember, like, sometimes they're expecting something when you get there. And that's why having clear communication before you go out there is crucial, because if you let them know, be like, yeah, I'm down to come see you, but just know I don't hook up with anybody until X amount of time. And then pay attention to his energy after that. Like, what if he like falls back a little bit because he's like, damn, like that's why I wanted her to come, was because I wanted to hook up with her. So I would say that, but there's nothing wrong with being spontaneous and taking a trip like that. If you guys are talking to somebody across the country or like a few states over and you want to fly to them, go for it. But also remember, if you want to take this person serious, are you guys in the position to be traveling? Because, and I'm talking about, you got to go see this person at least once a month, because seeing somebody every like 4 or 5 months is not the move. People grow apart. People end up cheating. So that's what I'm saying. Like, are you in a position where you can be able to go see this person often? So be straight up. Do guys tend to keep females close as friends that they have good S with? Sometimes, yeah. They'll tell you that they're friends. They'll keep them around. They'll still talk to them a little bit. If they are just like a hookup type of situation, yeah, they'll keep girls around for that. Absolutely. It's kind of like they'll get into relationships and still try to keep the side piece at the same time. Like, there's some guys who do that, and we've all seen those questions too as well. So, all right, let's get into the next question. I am an overthinker. The guy I'm talking to has pointed it out, and I just can't stop. I'm always such planning ahead such. There's nothing wrong of being an overthinker, right? I'm an overthinker. I'm a worst case scenario thinker. I'm an all over type of thinker, right? But the question is, are you an overthinker of, is he cheating on me type of situation? Is he like doing this? Does he even like me? Because I get it. We all want reassurance. We all want a little bit of, hey, them to let you know that you're the one for them and things like that. But it just depends on what you're overthinking is. Are you overthinking that he's constantly cheating? Because that's technically not overthinking. That's more of insecure, jealousy maybe. Like it just depends. So, but the best thing you can do if you know that you're an overthinker type of situation, like you can also get some therapy and counseling because, again, depending on what you're overthinking. If you're overthinking because things in the past have, like, you have trauma for certain things, people have treated you certain type of ways, you have all the reason to be an overthinker. And then you just have to voice that to them too. Be like, hey, like, I just been treated like shit in the past, so this is why I tend to overthink a lot of stuff, you know. So that's why. But you have to see what you actually overthink about, right? Like, are you overthinking that he's always out hooking up with somebody else? Because that's more of insecurity vibes. So, but we're human. We overthink. We start thinking certain ways because some people are like, oh, I'll never feel like that. But then maybe a guy does something and you feel a certain type of way because they said something towards you, they treated you a certain way. You know, we're human. Like, it happens. We have feelings. we love to love, and a lot of us get in some deep feels when something bad happens. All right, next question. My friend has 3 kids, very genuine, pretty inside and out, independent, stable. Why do guys play with her feelings? Please elaborate. There's some people who let themselves get taken advantage of, right? Like, they get treated like crap. Maybe it's the type of guys she's attracting or going after, right? Because I'm sure, like, there's amazing people out there, but if you let yourself get, you know, treated like shit, if they do something bad and you don't tell them anything because you don't want to cause an argument, you're already letting them treat you bad, right? If they start doing some things and you let them get away with it, you're letting them treat you bad, right? And because she got 3 kids, absolutely, you know, she's more worried about the kids than, you know, making sure the kids are good. So what I would say to her is, if she's going through a lot of dating issues, is maybe she should take some time and not even date. Take some time and focus on herself, and maybe eventually she'll meet somebody. If she has 3 kids, depending on the age, maybe basketball games, soccer games, meet somebody at like a school event, right? But just stop dating and accepting wherever she's dating. Maybe don't try that anymore. Like, if she's always doing dating apps, maybe get off the dating apps, right? For a little while. Like, exactly, Bell's Beauty, like taking some time and healing yourself and just finding yourself. That way, when you learn to be by yourself, you start taking a lot less BS from other people, right? You don't let people get away with bad behaviors or anything like that. You voice your opinion. You tell them, hey, I don't like this. I don't like that. Or you're just like, I'd rather be single because I was better off single than having to deal with somebody who treats me like this. So maybe taking some time for yourself does a lot of good. And during that time, if you want to get a little bit of counseling and therapy, nothing wrong with that. See, Ohana, she's currently in that situation right now, you know? And don't get me wrong. Every now and then you might get a little lonely. Every now and then you might like see couples out and be like, damn, I wish I had a person. You know, it's normal to feel that way. We're humans. But what you shouldn't do is like feel that way and then hit up an ex. Don't do that. Because then that just goes the wrong way. All right. Me too. See, Bell's Beauty's in the same situation. All right. Next question. Am I the only one that has orgasms when you go to the bathroom and allow your body just to relax and release? It's just got to be the best feeling next to what? Is that a thing? I want to know from you guys. Is that a thing? Like going to the bathroom? Never heard of that. It's a thing. No, yes. All right, I'm confused now. Because some people are saying yes and some people are saying no. Is actually, you know, can you get an O that way? I'm going to have to phone a friend on that one. So, no. Because, to be honest, this is the first I've heard of this. No idea. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to have to phone a friend on this one. I got to put my phone to charge. I'm going to have to phone a friend on this one because I'll leave the question here. Element, yes, because like I mentioned before, I have no idea. All right, next question. My BFF's brother has a major crush on me, but I don't like him like that. I enjoy spending time with him as friends, but I don't want to hurt his feelings if I tell him I'm not interested to pursue a relationship with him. How to tell him nicely? Girl, there's no nice way to put it. I'll tell you that right now. There is no nice way to put it. You're just going to have to, because you can tell him in the most nicest way possible. Most nicest way possible. And he's still going to take that rejection how he's going to take that rejection. He might get mad. He might just be like, oh, okay, that's fine. He might like get in his feels, right? Because like I mentioned, there's no easy. You know how it's like there's some girl, like a guy will shoot their shot at a girl and then the girl hits him with the, oh, let's just be friends. Trust me, that's an ego hit to a lot of guys. And sometimes they get mad, you know, they'll call them names, be like, well, you're a B anyway, right? So there's no easy way to tell somebody that the worst thing that you can do is beat around the bush. That's the worst thing you can do, because then what happens is they still feel like they have a chance. So they keep trying if you beat around the bush, because you should be like, oh, she said not right now. But then later, there's always later. Or if you end up getting with somebody else, he might get upset, be like, damn, I was like trying to pursue you and you didn't give me the time of day, but you gave him a time of day, right? So you just got to be straight up honest. What's up, Maria? Tell him you don't want to ruin your friendship or your BFF if it doesn't work out. That's true too. Like you can tell him that you're not trying to ruin a friendship, but just you do need to tell him pretty directly too. Not be like, oh, you know, just not right. No, be like, hey, like I love being friends with you. I love being friends with my like ex over here. I'm not saying ex like his ex-boyfriend, just their name, right? But I really don't want to pursue anything romantically, you know, with you. Like I just not in the headspace for that, you know. And let them know straight up that it's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no. 'Cause again, there's no nice way to put it. They're gonna react how they're gonna react. They might even tell you to your face, oh, okay, that's fine, and then go cry in the car, right? Or they might get mad and tell somebody, oh, well, she a B anyway, right? So set boundaries, absolutely. So just tell them straight up, right? Because guys are pretty direct. I did a whole podcast episode on that. Guys are pretty direct. You have to be pretty direct with them. You have to tell them, hey, this, like, I don't like this. Be like direct, hey, this, you need this in your life. Link is in the bio or on TikTok shop if you're on TikTok. Right there. It's linked right there for you. Toxico Scents. Direct. Don't beat around the bush. Because I can be like, you know what? Like, I've heard that, you know, like, it can smell good if you're just looking for something new, you know, like, no, absolutely not. So, just be direct with guys, especially. Be direct. No. Because I know it's easier to beat around the bush, right? It's easier just, you know, just to be like, hey, like, let me break it to him in the nicest possible way because I'm not trying to hurt his feelings. So, is overreacting to be dating for months and he doesn't have your number saved in his... Oh, that's a red flag, girl. Blaze Cutie. If you guys have been dating for months and he doesn't have your number saved, he doesn't want people to see who's calling. Could be a girl, could be a wife, or it just... Because what he's supposed to... Like, is he really... Hey, like, if he needs to call you for some reason, he's just going to go through his recent calls or messages and then click on that? That's a huge red flag. And if you're talking to somebody... let me help you ladies out. If you're talking to somebody and say you're with them, you see their phone. I'm not saying grab their phone. Call it by accident. Just saying. Call it by accident. You guys are driving in the car. He has the, you know, Apple CarPlay. Call it by accident. See what name pops up. See what name pops up and then start an argument. Because you know at a certain point that they should have your name saved in the phone. Or if they have you saved, by a different type of name. Because like what happens for some reason, or there has to be a reason. Say your name is Jessica and he has you saved as Julio, right? You're gonna be a Julio. Fuck is Julio. I'm just saying. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm putting y'all on game. You wanna see? Because usually when you're with him, guess what? You're not calling him. You're not texting him. Just saying. So you'll never know how he has you saved. So, just be like, oh shit, I didn't mean to call you. My bad. I was trying to call my mom. True. Do you think you should have your friends with benefits situation number? I mean, why not? My ex I dated for 1 year and his ex of 2 years has her pet name, but mine as I was my. Ooh. He has you saved as your business name instead of, and he still has his ex saved as a pet name. See? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I let that man go the day I found out. Oh, I would have too, girl. Oh, it's like you have me saved as my business name and you have your ex saved as a cute name? He told me that he was thinking of the perfect. No. Oh, Blaze, girl. Blaze. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. I hope you didn't believe that. I hope you did not believe that. Okay. Absolutely the fuck not. He was trying to think of a cute name to. No. It's so easy to put something else temporary. Like, why does it have a lot of thought to go into it? He's gone. Good, Blaze. Cute. Because no, you're not gonna. Oh, I'm trying to see what I want to save you. No, get the fuck out of here with that. My ex saved as the medical number for narcissistic disorder. That's better than certified problem. He's gone. I thought my business name was kind of cute, but his ex as her pet name. No. If you're talking with somebody. Depending on the situation, right? Say you guys first start talking. It's okay to have your business name because, I know you have your business or just your name, right? Now, if you guys get into a relationship or something a little bit more serious, maybe they'll upgrade it to something like a pet name or something like that, or just keep it your name, not your business name. I have contacts on my phone that are businesses. Because they're businesses. My only intention to reach out to them is like for business stuff, right? And then you have your friends' contacts. Maybe you have nicknames for them. Like my buddy Julio, I call him Jules, so I have him saved as Jules, and things like that. Like my buddy Chris, his name's Chris, and I have him saved as Weddle because that's what everybody calls him, So you know what I mean? But your business name and you guys are trying to be something serious. Jamie from State Farm. I'm sure she's got a name. The fuck you mean you're looking at for a pet name? You know what I mean? Like he could have easily saved it as your first name until he found the pet name he was looking for. All right. Well, I'm not laughing at you, Blaze. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at his audacity because wherever you guys are at, the audacity is on like 50% off because he has a lot of it. Probably even 80% off because that man has a lot of audacity to fucking tell you something BS like that. So I let you guys know here first. Do the accidentally call, the accidentally text, and see what pops up, right? I might save you guys from a horrible relationship. So, let me see. My crush on, this one. My friends with benefits friend on social media. My friends with benefit is my friend on social media. Whenever I'm posting a picture eating out, they always ask if I'm on a date. Could they be catching feelings? We both originally agreed it would be casual. And just because you guys agreed it would be casual didn't mean that deep down inside that's not how he feels, or that's also something that typically happens when you start exchanging those type of energies, right? You start connecting like that, and then sometimes they're like, "Damn, she's kind of cool," right? Like once they get to know you, like it becomes more than just intimacy. So it could be a possibility that he is catching feelings because if he's hitting you with the, why are you on a date right now? Like, because sounds like he wants to know because he's curious. So unless you feel the same type of way with, like, if you want something serious with him, it might be time to cut him off because those feelings just get bigger and bigger towards you to the point where, like, say you don't have those type of feelings towards him, his are gonna grow, and it's gonna be worse later on, right? Because he's gonna feel like you guys are a thing when you're not a thing. So that's why friends with benefits, sneaky links shouldn't be a long-term thing, right? Because, like, for example, say you and Jeff agree to be friends with benefits, and you tell him, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, just a casual hookup. Even though maybe he's kind of looking for somebody, but he's going to agree with you because he doesn't want to be that, that guy to be like in his feelings, be like, oh, well, I'm looking for something serious. He's going to be like, yeah, me too. But then, like, once you guys start hooking up or start connecting like that, now his feelings are coming. He's like, oh, dang, I actually like hanging out with her, right? So if he's starting to develop feelings and you don't feel the same way towards him, it's time to cut him out. He did that with me too. My ex hung out with a girl a few times in the next town over and swore he never touched. Oh, girl. Hell no. My ex hung out with a girl a few times in the next town over and swore he never touched. Of course he's going to say that. Well, I'm guessing, Ghostface, this was when you guys were together, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Being intimate interlocks you no matter how much you say it doesn't or it won't. Absolutely. Like when you guys are exchanging those energies, you start as passionate kisses, a little hand necklaces, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. See, no, hell no. Him say, because you say you caught him for hanging out with a girl in another town. He's only going to admit hanging out with a girl in another town. He's not going to be like, by the way, we kissed. By the way, we hooked up. No, he's going to admit to what he got caught for. He's not going to admit to anything else. He's only going to admit to what he got caught for because that's how most people are when they get caught cheating. So they only admit to what you caught them for. All right, next question. Is it hard to get a SL sneaky link to change their mind about a girl and make it a official relationship? Girl, if you're asking for a friend because you're the one catching feelings, or maybe you're a guy and you're asking this question, yes, people can get into relationships after just trying to be sneaky links, but does it typically happen? Not really, because maybe there's one person. Well, it depends on the person. Say like you're in a position where like you've been through a bunch of relationships and you're just like, you're not looking to be serious with anybody, but you have your needs, right? So that's why you have a sneaky link. And maybe the person that you're hooking up with hasn't gone through those type of things. And so now they're looking for somebody serious, right? So it just depends on the person. Can it happen? Absolutely. Is it rare? I mean, I wouldn't say it's rare. It happens. But this is, if you're feeling a certain type of way towards this person, it's better to let them know how you're starting to feel. Because if they're not in the same boat, it might be time to leave. Because you're only going to hurt yourself more staying in a sneaky link friends with benefits situation longer than you need to, because the moment they find somebody they actually want to be with, they might just cut you off, and that's going to hurt worse. Like them ghosting you, it's just out of nowhere because you're like, what the fuck? I thought like we had a thing. Oh, you got a boyfriend? Like I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? So I would just say have that conversation, and you never know. He might be in the same position, being like, yeah, like I really feel you like that too. So there's nothing wrong with asking that question. All right. Hold on. Make sure it didn't freeze. All right, I'm on this one. I think my best friend has feelings for me, but don't know what to do about it. It's just hard. I don't want to ruin their friendship. We already have. I think you could save a friendship before you let it get to anything serious. Because if you entertain it, or if you give them any sign of a little bit of hope, then it will ruin a relationship. Or maybe you just try it just to see what happens. You're gonna ruin a relationship. Now, telling them from the get-go, be like, I'm not really looking for that. Like, I don't see you as, somebody I want to be with romantically. Or just fucking lie to them and be like, I'm talking to somebody right now. Right? That way they're just like, oh, okay, she's being serious with somebody else. Right? Because a little white lie sometimes just to get somebody off your back, I say is valid. Right? I say is valid. Because if you're not interested in them and you don't want to hurt their feelings, you can be like, cool, I'm not looking to be anything serious right now. Plus, I'm currently talking to somebody, so, and they'll be like, oh, shit, okay, right? And then they'll back off. So, but you still need to let them know that you're not interested, right? And whichever way you feel that is necessary. Because if you let it, like I said, if you let it get to something somewhat serious and then you cut it off, it's going to that can ruin a friendship. This can make them feel maybe a type of way, but then there's still that high possibility that you guys can still continue being friends. I got close to him, I hugged him, and he says, you make me nervous. I don't see how we've been with each other plenty of times. It could be just like a little flirty type of thing. Oh, you make me nervous. Like it could be like flirt talk, right? A little bit of like, trying to be cute with you or something like that. Oh, you still give me butterflies, girl, as long as he's saying positive stuff to you, as long as it's not like, oh, you make me nervous, and then he goes and does something stupid, right? That's a whole different situation. All right, next question. How can I show my husband how to do better eating? He's not good at all. I mean, maybe coaching him when he's doing it. Be like, oh, I love it when you do this. Like, reinforce the positive things that he does. Don't just go to him and be like, you suck. Because then he's going to feel a type of way about it. But instead, be like, I love it when you focus on this area. It really turns me on the way you do it, or like when you were doing it like this, I almost got off to that, reinforce the positive things that he has been doing or he does in like short little moments. Don't just tell him he sucks, because most guys have fragile egos. And if you tell him he sucks, he's gonna feel a type of way, and you'll probably never want to do it again. So I would say start with that. Start with telling him what the positive things that he is doing, right? And also having a conversation. This is like, these conversations should be talked about early on, right? You should be asking your partner what are the positions that turn them on the most. What are things that are no-goes? Because you start learning things. Because I'm always like, to me, I love it when a girl has an amazing experience. So I want to know the positions that she loves the most, the things that she loves the most, if she likes to get bit, X, Y, and Z. I want to know. So I talk about those things early on. And so should everybody. After being intimate early on, be like, oh, what is your favorite position? Because this is like, now it's like flirty communication talk, because you can be like, hey, next time you should do this to me. I really love this position, and start talking through it. But if you've been with somebody for a while, it's a little harder, because especially if you're faking it. This is another reason why I tell y'all not to fake it, because if you've been faking it for years, and then finally you're like, I'm done taking this fake shit. Or done. He's going to be thinking that he's been killing it the past 5 years. And then now that you say something, he's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, you said I was killing it for the past 5 years and I'm not. Right? But yeah, I would say, first of all, just start off with reinforcing the positive things that he does, the things that you like that he does. So, all right, next question. How can I turn on my feeling? What? I am not healed from my last relationship. Sneaky Link is dating someone else. I'm not an ounce of jealous. Do I feel? Is it me that's broken or love not meant for? No, girl. You explaining that all right now, girl, you need to heal. You need some time for yourself. It's not that you're broken. Well, something's broken inside of you because of your previous relationship. There's nothing wrong with you, right? We're human. After you leave a relationship, you feel a certain type of way. Sometimes it takes people a little bit longer to move on from a relationship, to heal from a relationship. And what's holding you up from healing too is having a sneaky link, because you're like, well, he goes and dates other girls and I don't even feel jealous about. No, girl, you need some time for yourself, girl. You need to take some time. Take 6 months, and then after 6 months, see how you feel. A year, take some time off, because like I said, yeah, you may feel broken inside. You may feel, because you're not healed past this. And there's nothing wrong with you, because like I mentioned before, we are human, and that's what happens. We feel things. We go through emotions with happiness, sadness, depressed, anger, ecstatic, horny, you know what I mean? Like, we go through all these emotions, and it's okay to feel a certain type of way after being in a relationship. And especially if that relationship was a long-term relationship, of course you're going to feel a certain type of way. But that just means, to me, it just means that you need to take some time off. You need to focus on you for a little while. Don't be doing no sneaky links. No, like, just take some time for you. Don't go on dates. Just find yourself, heal yourself, hit the gym, library, church, you name it. Get some therapy if you need it, right? Do all that stuff. Do everything else but date somebody. Like, how about that? Do everything else, but no, well, actually, don't do drugs, okay? Because that makes things even worse. So do positive things instead, besides dating, okay? All right, hold on. All right, we're going to get into the next question. What time is it? What kind of woman texts a male coworker in a relationship about her pelvic floor dysfunction along with procedure images, not diagram, actual photos? Is something going on there, or is this one-sided? Girl, I think this is a guy who sent this, or it's a girl, but unless that man is a doctor, there's no reason to be sending photos like that. There's no reason to be disclosing medical information like that to somebody else, unless they're a doctor. Okay, because I would get it, like, if you have an acquaintance, you have a friend that's a doctor, and you're just looking to get evaluation because maybe you don't want to go pay what it's going to cost to find it out. But if that's not the case, then something else is going on, because they're willing to send this information to somebody else, another guy. And you said that they were actual pictures, not like, what was it? Where was it at? Procedure images, not diagram, actual photos, sending actual photos and stuff like that. So I would just say that I would have definitely brought that up and been like, hey, like, is there a why are you sending this stuff to this person who's not even a doctor, who doesn't even work in that field, right? Like, what is going on there? Because now I'm going to be like, okay, so you're opening up about medical stuff, maybe personal feelings, stuff that they should be opening up to you about, talking to you about, right? So that's definitely a red flag there for me, and I'm sure some people can also agree with that, but yeah, to me, definitely a red flag, because if you guys are talking about like personal things like that, like, what else are you talking about? She feels comfortable, but because he allows it, true. Yeah, I would have said something, because unless that man is specifically specialized in that field, I would understand. You know, say like that was a doctor that he specializes in that field. But if it's just homie that works at Amazon, no. Okay. It's definitely something else is going on there, because they're willing to talk about personal stuff like that. And that's where emotional cheating comes from, is like that feeling. Imagine knowing that your person is able to talk about personal stuff, talk behind your back about things that they're supposed to be talking to you about. They're talking to some other dude about. No, ma'am. That's a definitely no-go for me. All right, next question. Have a question for you. What should I do? So I've been with my partner for a while now, but the S hasn't been any good at all. And lately, I've been messing around with my sneaking link because he knows how to get my freak on, and the S is way better. And I've tried more things with him than I have with my partner. Girl, leave your partner. Leave your partner. You guys are not compatible being intimate, and you're learning this early on because you're willing to go to a sneaky link to get what you need because they're fulfilling you. I think it's time to leave, because intimacy is a huge part in any relationship. And if your intimacy sucks, trust me, it's gonna affect the rest of the relationship. Not right away. Sometimes it doesn't happen right away, but over time, right? So I would just say, if you know he's not very good being intimate, it doesn't matter if he's a fucking amazing partner. Because him being an amazing partner the intimacy is gonna outweigh that eventually. And it already outweighed it for you. Like, I don't know if he's an amazing partner, but whatever it is, the intimacy already outweighed it. So you went to go look for it somewhere else. So to me, like, the intimacy is a problem. He's not getting any better. Spoiler alert, sometimes they don't get any better unless you're teaching them or showing them. So if you're already stepping out of the relationship, it just might be time to go. And then next time you want to get into a relationship, just make sure you guys are compatible intimacy-wise. You guys are both freaks. Because again, it doesn't matter if he's an amazing partner. If the intimacy sucks, the relationship is going to suffer. Like, let's just be honest. Okay, so I'll just let you know. All right, hold on. Let me get into the next question. Was disappointed by a guy I was talking/seeing for about a year. I noticed changes in him when mutual coworker told me that his girlfriend cheated on him with the guy I was seeing. Now he's acting like the victim. Haven't talked to him in 2 months and he unfriended me. Not sure what happened between us. So was disappointed by the guy that I was seeing for about a year. I noticed changes in him when mutual coworker told me that his girlfriend cheated on him. Hold on. Was disappointed by the guy I was seeing in the mutual coworker told me that his girlfriend cheated on him with the guy I was seeing. Now he's acting like the victim. Haven't talked to him. Oh, okay, I get it now. See, this is why, first of all, yeah, he found another victim. Absolutely. He found another victim. And this is why you don't date at work. You know, because she mentioned it was a mutual coworker told me, you know, it kind of sounds like you guys are all in the same vicinity, right? Because if you guys are working together, this is why I say maybe you guys shouldn't be dating the people you work with. It doesn't matter if it's like a big facility that you guys work in and they're just working the other building or something. No. Okay. Because first of all, you're going to hear everybody's gossip. Maybe people are hooking up like crazy there. And then also, like, being those people that you find out stuff about them and then they turn themselves into a victim. Like, what else are they going to, you know, turn themselves into victims? And when you said you noticed some changes and you're already disappointed in him, you need to take that into account, because if he's changing and you're noticing all these changes and it's disappointing you, like, it might be time to move on, because you guys are just a year in, right? And it kind of sounds like you guys are already having a bunch of issues with that relationship. Like, it sounds, if that was me, I would be like trying to get the fuck out already, because I'm like, I'm not here trying to do all this drama stuff and, you know, get involved with somebody who's going to play victim about this and that. Nah, I'm good. Okay. Even though that question was confusing as fuck at first. All right. I have this old situationship that comments on my stories here and there. I reply, he ignores, not open. What's wrong with guys? Why won't he delete? Girl, block him. You have this old situationship and you're paying attention to him. Like, he replies to some of your stuff. He wants to, him replying or him reacting to your stuff, sending messages and getting you to reply is validation for him that he still got you there, that he can still get you there, you know, that he still has access to you. That's why he's doing it, because he doesn't even like follow up. He'll send something and then you reply and then he doesn't even open it. Trust me when I say he saw it, right? And to me, what I would just do is just block him. Be like, oh, okay, like this is the game you're gonna this is the game you're gonna play. Block. Okay, the block button is amazing. I'll tell you that right now, right? And especially when you got people playing these type of games where they're, you know, replying to you out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden you reply back, and they don't even open the message. Nah, it's time to block somebody, right? Okay, it's 2026. I know me at 37 years old, I'm definitely not going to be playing those games anymore. And I don't know how old you are, the person that asked the question, but you get to a point where you just don't want to play those games anymore, right? And to me, peace of mind would be block. Because I'm not gonna be dealing with that, playing games and shit, replying, not replying. We all need to be like probably in block and don't give a fuck. Absolutely. Because you know the peace of mind you'll get after you block him? You'll be like, now he's not gonna be messaging me. Or do you want him to message you? Let me ask you that. Are you wanting him to reply to your stuff? Is it way better feeling to have your self-respect? Absolutely. Right? Knowing that, especially you know that he's playing these games. Like, you know he's going to respond to something. Maybe you post a thirst trap and he responds to it and you're like, respond back. And then he knows he has access still. He knows he's got you right there. And then he just doesn't respond back. No, I ain't going to be playing those games. Your first mistake is responding to him. Especially if you said it's an old situationship. Let's leave the past in the past. Okay? But even if you did want to message him back and see like what is going on, or like being nice and he just leaves you on red or doesn't even open it, nah, it's time to block, girl. You know, it's time to block. I'm gonna make a little graphic that says block too. All right, next question. I love your content. I feel a baddie in bed. Ooh. Confident y sobre todo transmitirlo a mi pareja. Encontré cosas nuevas y compartí conocimiento. Siempre le mando tus reels. Ooh, okay. Thank you, girl. See, what she ended up saying, basically, you know, to wrap it up, is that she and her man are now. And we love that for her. Okay. And see, there's nothing wrong with sharing my reels to your man. You know, there's nothing wrong. Because there's plenty of, I get those messages all the time too. Like, hey, like, me and my man watch your stuff. You know, you really helped us talk, be more freaky. Because that's the goal here, is to help everybody. You know, you may be going through in a situation, you know, situationship, placeholder, you got cheated on, your intimacy sucks, it's vanilla, you know, and you're here because you're seeking some help, right? And that's what we're here to do. But the only way there's going to be help is that you guys actually see the video and put some action behind it. Send it to your man. Talk to your man, right? Because sometimes that's all we need, right? Say there hasn't been no communication and all you needed to do was bring something up or have that awkward conversation that you never wanted to have, and it could be a game changer, you know, or it could lead to you guys separating, which is also a good thing because you realize that you guys are no longer compatible with each other and you guys like need to go and do your own thing. Like there's no spark there anymore. There's no love there anymore because it's happened. I've gotten all the messages that I've helped the relationship. I've not well, I've ended relationships in good ways. You know, they ended up finding out that, hey, like, I'm treated like shit. I'm not going to be treated like this. They never wanted to change. And which is a good thing that they finally realized that, hey, it's time to move on, right? I'm not saying it's good because now I have a chance. I'm saying it's good because you realize you're in a bad relationship that's not working and it's time to move on, right? So it's good, right? It's good. It may suck in the moment. You know, I'm not saying it's not going to suck. It may suck in the moment. Or like her, she ended up finding out that, you know, talking with her husband, becoming freaks and trying some of the stuff we talked about on here. That's all she needed to do. And I'm sure her intimacy life is doing amazing now. Because all she had to do was talk to him, send him a reel, and then guess what? They're on and popping. Because there's some guys because you know how I said that we're pretty direct. If you don't let them know that something is wrong, something is bugging you, sometimes it just goes over a guy's head. Like it just does. We're thinking you're fine, and we don't know you're not fine, and you're waiting for us to figure out that you're not fine is not the way to go because we think you're fine when you're not fine, and you're waiting for us to figure out if you're not fine, and you're upset that we can't figure out that you're not fine, and so then we get upset because we didn't know that you know what I mean? So it gets confusing real quick. So just tell them. Just be straight up. That's all you got to do. I almost confused the shit out of myself there. See, that's what I'm talking about. All right, next question. How do I tell my partner of 10 years I'm ready to walk away? There's no longer doing what they did to get me. I feel like we're in a vicious loop and there's no growth. We talked, tried new approaches, etc., but I'm no longer satisfied. And see, if you've done what you needed and you realize that you're stuck in a cycle, it's the same thing over and over, this is where you need to set up a boundary, set up if this continues by this date, that's it, I'm gone. And you need to stay firm to that, and you need to follow through with it. Because if you guys have tried everything, maybe even couples counseling, therapy, and stuff like that, and maybe they don't want to do it, they're giving you the answer already. If they don't want to do it, they're saying they're not wanting to work on the relationship. They're not wanting to fix the relationship because it's just going in loops. So that's what I'm saying. Like you have to set like some sort of goal, and it's not really a goal, but and that's why I say like boundary. You got to be like, if it doesn't change by this time, I'm out. And you need to vocalize it too. Be like, yo, if things don't start changing and we don't start being better, like I want to feel in love with you. Like I want you to be in love with me. You know, there's no spark there, and be straight up honest, like what's going on and how it's making you feel. Because there's somebody out there who's gonna, you know, more than happy treat you amazing, treat him amazing, right? Because at the end of the day, you guys both got to put in effort, and sometimes one person no longer wants to put in that effort. So that's why you need to, like, if you guys haven't done couples therapy or counseling, bring that up. Be like, yo, we need to do this. And that way, like, we can figure out if we're even compatible anymore, if we can even fix this anymore. And if they tell you no, and you let them know, and if you say no, we're not going to do it, we're done. Because some people will be like, no, I don't want to do it. But if they actually still in their head want to fix it, still a little bit of hope, they'll be like, all right, well, let's do it, right? Let's try to fix this. So, because them saying, no, I don't want to do it is already giving you the answer. They're not looking to invest into you still. So they stay feeling, some men stay because they don't want to be the bad guy. So they stay feeling, exactly. So, I mean, you guys have seen it. Guys will cheat or not be happy in a relationship. They'd rather go cheat and still stay around with the wife or the girlfriend. They'll get caught cheating and they'll try to fix it with the wife or the girlfriend because they don't want to be the one to leave, you know? And so, like, for example, I was stuck in the same loop too before. I talk about my 7.5 year relationship where it was just a cycle. Like for the last 2 years of that relationship, last 2.5 years, it was just a cycle of the same shit over and over and over, you know, until, you know, the whole typical thing, I'm going to leave. And I would be like, no, like, let's fix it. You know, things are going to change. Like, And just the same thing over and over and over until I was like, I'm not happy. She's not happy. Like, this is not working. Like, I had to be like, I actually like stepped back and I was like, this is not working. So the next time she told me, oh, I'm going to go back to my mom's house, right? And I was like, all right, cool. Let me know when you come get, or like when you're going to take your stuff. And that even caught her off guard because I'm pretty sure she was expecting me to be like, no, let's fix it. Let's work on it. Let's figure this out, right? So her hearing, okay, let me know when you want to come get your stuff, caught her off guard because just the way she was looking at me, she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. Because in my head, I was done. I was like, and I noticed the whole cycle thing. And sometimes you have to realize that it's not working out. And we tried doing the things like working it out, tried including date night, too late for that. Tried, working, like getting that spark back. It didn't work, right? But there's a lot of people, and I was one of them too, where you're like, I've already spent this much time with this person, like, is it wasted time? No, it's not wasted time. You're wasting more time being with somebody when you know it's over, right? That's the wasted time. But those years that you invested into that person, it's not wasted time. It's just like at that time you wanted to invest time into that person, right? And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's what happened that time. So don't be afraid to leave if you know that relationship is over, because that's one of the best decisions I ever made, because I was definitely not happy in that relationship at all. At all. So yeah, I was glad, and I learned a lot from that relationship. That's why I'm able to tell you guys about it, because yeah, it's a lot of learning experiences, a lot of things that I would never do again, or try to be stuck in that same loop. That was a horrible place to be in, because you knew, like in my head too, I knew that argument was going to happen again at some point, and then it was going to be the same thing. I was just waiting for it too. Like, when are we going to start arguing about this? Like, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be like, no, let's work it out. And then boom, boom, boom. I was just waiting for it at that point. So, but yeah. All right. So thank you guys. I still got plenty of questions. We're going to answer, I think we should be able to answer the rest of them on Thursday. So just so you guys know, every Mondays and Thursdays I do go live. So if you guys want to continue having fun with your boy, Thursday we won't be here. If you guys listen to the podcast, definitely check it out. It's based around like cheating, why you shouldn't stay, reasons why you should maybe stay, even though I wouldn't. But I try to help you guys, and then the things that causes, like when somebody cheats, physically or emotionally. So, and what happens when you actually stay, right, and how it can affect you. So definitely check it out. Also, shout out to everyone who has purchased the Toxico Scents, the girl scents. I got the new one. I'm fine. This is a red flag right here, but I got the new one. They're linked on my TikTok shop, so make sure you guys check it out. Bell's Beauty always lets you guys know where you guys can get it on IG, just because I can't say it on here, or else I get freaking suspended and restricted on TikTok. So the podcast was good. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you guys for listening to it. Make sure you guys check it out. New podcast episode every Monday, so make sure you guys check it out. So go check it out if you haven't. I appreciate y'all. Go get yourself some Toxico Scents. I appreciate y'all. All the orders that came in the past few days are going to be going out tomorrow, okay? Because post office was closed today. So definitely go check it out. There's also, is it still there? Oh, no. It's free shipping too, by the way. I was like, did I add free shipping? It's free shipping on everything. Everything should be free shipping now. I don't know why on some of them before the free shipping thing was not on there, but it should all be free shipping now. So thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Se la lavan, because I can smell y'all from here. I'm just joking. Go check out the podcast. And this live is going to be up on YouTube tomorrow. So if you guys want to check that out, if you guys missed it. So I'll see you guys there.